Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Farida Hanum from Accounting Class C 2022 State University of Medan. I want to tell you about all my journeys in the Business English course from meeting 9 doing mini research assignments to completing project assignments that were carried out with my group. When our beloved lecturer, Ma'am Esa, gave the task, I feel shocked because this task I had never done before. For the first time, I did an interview with a foreigner from abroad. This is the first time for me to speak English directly with tourists. When the interview was going on, I was very happy. This task is really impressed me even though I found it difficult at first, but as turned out, it's true that we can say the test is difficult before we try. And I thank Ma'am Esa for giving this text and being an experience and learning for me until I get out. There are many stories when starting this mini research. Many of the process that myself went through in completing this task. Starting from participating in discussion to make scripts, then interviewing, becoming a camera woman, editing videos, to posting on YouTube. When doing this mini research, I took more than one day just to find the tourists because it's not a holiday, so it's difficult to find foreigners on our tourist attraction and places that are visited by tourists. There were about 4 days for me with my group mates to interview tourists. On the first day, on Wednesday, October 12, 2022, I and 3 of my group tried to find tourists. We also asked with the security at Lonsum, and it turned out that we were not allowed to enter. So we tried to wait outside the tourists at the Lonsum because the security said there were usually tourists passing by in front of the Lonsum. And finally, after a few minutes, we waited, it didn't pass by either. And we also tried to go to Delhi Park to find tourists. After so far around each floor of Delhi Park, we didn't find it. We even went inside the food court to see tourists. Maybe there were any tourists in there, but we didn't find. And lately, we decided to go home and come back again on Saturday because we think inshallah there are tourists on weekends. On the second day, on Saturday, October 15, 2022, I, together with 4 friends of my group, trying to find tourists back. This time, we immediately look for tourists around Lonsum because we know waiting in front of Lonsum also will not be able to. Finally, we searched the tourists on coffee shop near Lonsum. We walked a few meters and finally I saw a tourist inside a coffee shop, Sultan Kopi and Roastery, on General Ahmad Yani Street, Kesawan near Tip-Top. Already feeling tired, we tried to approach the tourist by asking the coffee shop owner for permission to go inside, and finally we met the tourist and greeted him. It felt so good that we could finally find him. Alhamdulillah, the tourist's response was very good and received us. He was also willing to help us to do the interview in front of Lonsum. And finally, we walked from the coffee shop to Lonsum to take videos and photos with tourists. After the interview, we thanked and said goodbye to the tourists. We also got the number WhatsApp of tourists because he gave it. After the interview, we went to the park behind Grand Ina Hotel to move the file videos while relaxing. And at the time, it was a funny incident when the tourist via WhatsApp chat asked my girlfriends Joy for lunch with only 3 of me. Oh my god, it feels disgusting. And when we said to invite another friends of ours, the tourist said next time, yes. I think between being stingy or he just wanted us both. Ew, oh my god. And finally, we didn't so and didn't want to have lunch with tourists. On the third day, on Sunday, October 16, 2022, I was with my group of 3 more looking for tourists back for an interview, but not found. So we went back to the park behind the Grand Ina Hotel and I wanted to pray Asar. And after prayer, we sat near it. I saw something terrible. Oh my god. Behind the windows of a room near that hotel before I nursed it. But it turned out that for a long time I felt something strange. It turned out that there was really a man behind the window, and so he's gentle to us. Oh my god. I immediately ran as tight as I could. Another friend also ran along. They also saw, but they didn't realize it. Oh my god. That was the first time I saw. Oh my god. But I've forgotten about it. And finally, because we didn't find tourists on the day, I had the idea to make a compilation video between our video of 5 people interview with tourists combined with a video of my friends who 3 people explain about the Lonsum as if with tourists. Because yesterday 3 of my friends were unable to attend on Saturday when we found tourists because some are sick and some are not on WhatsApp. So after taking the video, we went back home and editing the video. And on the last day, October 29, 2022, I accompanied again my friend who was 3 people to interview tourists. We searched in the Merdeka Walk from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. starting from Lonsum, walking towards T-Top, back again to Lonsum, and then to Grand Ina. And finally, we found 2 tourists. But we just interview, not take photo and videos because the tourists don't want take photo or videos. Eventually, we just interview. After that, we went around again to the train station to search tourists, and it turned out that we arrived at the station. There was not either. I prayed Zuhur first, and then we continued the journey to the first market and around again to the top to find tourists. After we sat nearby, waited a few minutes and found that there were also no tourists passing by. Finally, In 1 p.m., we decided to go home by taking the Trans Metro Daily bus. And this is not the first time my group of 3 people interview tourists. Actually, there was a day when I didn't come with 3 of my friends who had not interviewed tourists. They said they had met tourists too. There were 3 tourists, but the tourists were like people were going to die from starvation. So the tourists wanted to go out to eat, and finally, my friend didn't have time to take video, just a photo, and 3 of my friends come back again to home. Finish my mini research assignments as a member of the group 3. It's just mini research because we still have project tasks to complete. After Saturday, October 15, 2022, we agreed to editing the video. Every discussion we have is more through virtual meeting using Google Meet. So, editing also through Google Meet with share screen using the Wondershare Filmora 9 application is on my laptop. But once we were one day to Najwa's house to editing the video, I'm in charge of editing with my friends, and my friends creating subtitle, looking for music and other things needed for editing. We ourselves edited the video through a long process starting from cutting the video, merging, adding subtitle, adding opening, adding music, and adding closing, and the editing process was completed on October 30, 2022, and I posted it on YouTube on October 31, 2022. Until here is done, our group task is over. There are so many stories and experiences that happened during this task. Maybe this video hasn't illustrated my entire journey. Surely, the making of this task is very emotional. I am happiness when I find the tourists after such a long trip, and I can talk directly for the first time with a tourist. I am angry because my friends don't understand what I mean. I'm sadness and heartache because there is my work that is not appreciated of my group for one person. There is a sense of disappointment. There is a sense of pride in being able to complete this task. There is a sense of shock to get a task like this. There is a sense of fatigue too, but there is a sense of emotion because we can understand each other and forgive each other between group members. In this task, I know the nature of my other friends who had never been with me. I become more familiar with my friends who turn out to be not what I imagined. Many thanks I would like to give. The most important thing is to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given healthy and opportunities so that my group, friends, and me able to complete this mini research and project. Also to Mr. Hassan, as tourists want to interview with us, and also to the people who help and support completing this task, especially to the Mem Esa who have given the idea of a task like this and continue to support us, making us have a very meaningful experience that will not be forgotten for any time. And to my friend in my group who each had an important role in the complete of this task, I without you guys were also unable to complete it. And this video being the end of my business English course journey, with Ma'am Esa from the meeting 9 doing mini research to the end of the project task of this idea. Learning this time is really exciting, relaxing, and happy. Not only learning but also adding experience. And also I can see directly the value of my work. And I am happy. And all this will be a lesson and experience for the next generation and will be unforgettable until old age. Join class with Ma'am Esa also teach to be more disciplined, all not necessarily with emotion, but with responsibility that not only learn theory but directly practice into the field. And that's cool. And I want to say thank you for Ma'am Esa for all the direction, knowledge, and value for appreciation of my work. And sorry for all my mistakes and indiscipline that Farida may have done, ma'am. And I'm Farida Hanum from Accounting Class 2022. So many stories for me. Thank you for your attention. Assalaamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.